Coming up on AC 24/7, growing concerns about air safety, the head of the FAA's response to recent near collisions and massive outrages. Plus, there's a new Republican candidate entering the race for the White House in 2024, why Nikki Haley is now challenging her former boss. And we'll show you how lawmakers plan to put a stop to online bullying and its impact on mental health. Welcome to AC 24/7. I'm Stephen Walker. The nation's top aviation official is concerned about the safety risks of compliancy. He spoke during a Senate hearing following a series of close calls and technical issues impacting US air traffic. The Advocate Channel's Mike Valerio has the latest on how the FAA is addressing key safety concerns amid mounting criticism.
The acting head of the Federal Aviation Administration ordering a sweeping review of the agency following near collisions,
Delta 1943, cancel takeoff clearance.
close calls,
It was very close, and we believe less than 100 feet.
and a crippling computer outage that temporarily grounded flights nationwide last month.
We're missing the first week for a funeral.
Appearing before the Senate Commerce Committee Wednesday, acting FAA Administrator Billy Nolan says air travel has never been safer, but acknowledged the problems plaguing the aviation industry.
And I say to the American public that we are safe. The answer is that we are. If the question is, can we be better? The answer is absolutely.
Nolan said accelerated efforts to upgrade the NOTAM safety messaging system that failed in January will mostly be completed by mid-2025, but said that vulnerabilities remain in that system, which is responsible for providing pilots with critical pre-flight safety information.
Could I sit here today and tell you there will never be another issue on the NOTAM system? No, sir, I cannot.
Recent near collisions that have also raised concerns, including one between a FedEx cargo plane and a Southwest jet in Austin last week, are currently under investigation, but Nolan says FAA safety measures prevented potential disasters.
When we think about the controls, how we train both our controllers and our pilots, the system works as it's designed.
Yet Nolan says sustaining and implementing these systems means a lot of work ahead.
Recent events remind us that we cannot and must not become complacent and must continually invest in our aviation system.
Nikki Haley has entered the 2024 presidential race. She launched her campaign Wednesday at a rally in Charleston, South Carolina. She cast herself as a figure for generational change, who can help the party in the White House. She's the first notable Republican to challenge former President Trump for the nomination, and she had this to say at the rally about who should win.
As I set out on this new journey, I will simply say this: may the best woman win. This is not about identity politics. I don't believe in that. And I don't believe in glass ceilings either. I believe in creating a country where anyone can do anything and achieve their own American dream.
During her speech, Haley leaned heavily on her experience as a UN ambassador and her background as a child of Indian immigrants. She started off by saying, quote, "Take it from me, America is not a racist country." Haley's original announcement was delivered in a Twitter video. Even though Haley said 2 years ago that she would not challenge her former boss for the White House, she says current economic climate changed her mind. The Advocate Channel's Kylie Atwood reports.
I'm Nikki Haley, and I'm running for president.
Nikki Haley making it official and telling her story.
I was the proud daughter of Indian immigrants. Not black, not white. I was different. But my mom would always say your job is not to focus on the differences, but the similarities. And my parents reminded me and my siblings every day how blessed we were to live in America.
The 51-year-old casting herself as the future of the Republican Party.
It's time for a new generation of leadership.
Not the past.
Republicans have lost the popular vote in 7 out of the last 8 presidential elections.
Haley highlighting her accomplishments as a 2-term governor of South Carolina, her home state.
Every Every day is a great day in South Carolina.
Including cutting taxes and leading her state through the aftermath of the 2015 deadly shooting by a white supremacist at the Mother Emanuel AME Church in Charleston.
We turned away from fear, toward God.
At the time, Haley confronted a controversial issue, spearheading efforts to remove the Confederate flag from the state capitol.
The biggest reason that I asked for that flag to come down was I could not look my children in the face and justify it standing there.
In her video today, Haley touted her experience on the world stage as U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations.
China and Russia are on the march. They all think we can be bullied, kicked around. You should know this about me. I don't put up with bullies. And when you kick back, it hurts them more if you're wearing heels.
But no mention of former President Trump, who tapped her for that role.
I just want to thank Nikki.
Haley's entrance prompting praise from Republicans today, even as some are concerned that a crowded primary could benefit former President Trump.
To see someone, see some of the leadership coming out of South Carolina is exciting, but I do have concerns if there are too many people on the ballot by the time it gets to South Carolina that, that lessens the chances of anyone else sort of coming out.
She will likely face stiff competition from other potential GOP candidates besides Trump, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former Vice President Mike Pence, and former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, all said to be weighing 2024 runs. Big Tech was the centre of attention at a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing. The topic, kids' safety and privacy online, and the call, one for action. The Advocate Channel's Emily Schmidt reports.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm?
The Senate Judiciary Committee spent about 2.5 hours Tuesday in a rare unified hearing.
This cause is truly bipartisan.
All of them are bipartisan.
It's an issue that keeps parents and children up at night.
A psychologist testified the average teen spends more than 8 hours a day online. That's more than 3 times the hearing length.
The last time Congress passed a law to protect children online was 25 years ago.
On Monday, a CDC survey found increasing mental health challenges among teens. 42% of high school students reported experiencing persistent sadness and hopelessness in 2021. Researchers say social media contributes. Kristen Bride testified that her son Carson didn't get a phone until 8th grade, no social media until 9th. Yet she says precautions did not stop his suicide.
Carson had received nearly 100 negative, harassing, sexually explicit, and humiliating messages, including 40 in just one day.
She said she could not successfully sue the social media sites because of something called Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. It provides legal immunity to websites that moderate user-generated content. Lawmakers are considering limits. Other ideas include creating a digital regulatory commission or setting age limits. Senators promised change and hinted that big tech will be invited to future hearings. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
If you or someone you know needs help, call the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It launched last summer and has already routed more than 2 million calls, texts, chat messages to the call centres. Valentine's Day was not a happy day for fans of Internet Explorer. Microsoft officially retires Internet Explorer. Microsoft announced it officially disabled Internet Explorer 11 on Tuesday. The tech giant permanently disabled the older web browser on its desktops. Internet Explorer debuted in 1995 as part of the Windows 95 and at one point commanded 95% of the market. Microsoft announced in June of last year that it was retiring the browser. Now users who click on the icon are being redirected to Microsoft Edge. Microsoft says it will remove all visual references to Internet Explorer when it re-releases an update in June. We are celebrating Black History Month. Today we want to spotlight American poet, activist and playwright Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes published his first poem in 1921. One of his most well-known and recited poems is A Dream Deferred, which was published in 1951 to draw attention to the American dream and how it falls short for African Americans. He also wrote The Black Nativity, a gospel play featuring his works alongside the story of the birth of Jesus. Hughes is widely seen as one of the key figures of the Harlem Renaissance and was honoured with numerous awards during his life. Thank you for joining us for AC 24/7. For more, go to advocatechannel.com and subscribe on Advocate Channel YouTube page. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Stephen Walker.